friends. Well, would you look at that? Another Ariens. Deluxe 28, super high output. I picked this one up, I believe out of pure necessity. It's been a good machine so far. We've used it, Jake's used it, I've used it. The only thing that happened recently is I popped the shear pin and I didn't have any with me. So I brought her home because all the previous owner had stated that he did a full service on it and the new oil, says a new spark plug, but on Facebook Marketplace I don't believe nobody for nothing. So I'm going to go through this machine and we're going to have a look at it, figure out what it needs. I think it needs a little bit of adjusting here and there, and then we'll go from there. I did purchase a heated hand grip kit for it, which I don't know if I'll put it on because it's awful cold and it is epoxy adhered, epoxy, so I don't think the epoxy is going to activate. I picked up a halogen headlight for it because the complaint is with the standard headlight, the halogen. Sorry, I picked up an LED halogen replacement kit. So the standard LED has a problem with flashing your eye. So the remedy was black tape to cover up that portion of the light so it doesn't squirt in your eye while you're operating it. This machine, it's in really nice shape and I intend to keep it that way. It does have a 306cc motor in it. Lots of power. This thing will throw snow unbelievably. So we'll get into it, we'll go through it all, and then we'll see if we find any anomalies. But so far right now we have to grease the augers and we have a busted shear pin to deal with. I'm just tipping it back now. There you go. Now this spins super freely, so I'm going to assume that it was decently cared for. Yeah, so I'm going to adjust it's got the no scrape shoes on it, but I'm going to lower them down a bit because I think a little bit of corrosion. Yeah, anyway, we're going to go through this thing. Oh, look at that. Deluxe weight kit. Right there. Yeah, this thing just keeps giving me more and more surprises. So yeah, we'll go through it all. Make sure everything's hunky-dory. And we'll go from there. So stand by. And I wanted to show you something, guys. I didn't know if you guys knew this or not, but it's right here. It's located on most snow blowers. It's the red subscribe button. There it is. Right there. The red subscribe button. Okay, we'll see you in a bit. Alright. As always, safety first. Let's remove the spark plug wire. We're working on these things. That keeps it as safe as it can be. So we're going to do the auger service right now. And we'll get that going. So again, Ariens Deluxe 28 super high output. That's what we're working on today. Alrighty, there you go. I'm going to do this video on a tripod because I've had a lot of complaints from people saying that you need a tripod. So let's give this a shot. So the first thing you got to do in servicing the auger is you have to remove the auger bolts. And wiggling this one, I can tell right now it has been bent, although it's not broken. So I'll do it this way so you guys can see that it can be done without power tools very easily. If I'm bumping the tripod, my apologies. I'm in a tight space. This garage is a disaster. We're going to make some changes, and things are going to get different. Mostly they're not going to be a good, I don't know if you call it a good change or a bad change, but it's going to be a change nonetheless, because it has to be. So you can see clearly that's bent, so we have an issue. Stand by, I'll reposition this, and then we can see if we're going to get this thing out or not. So it's what you call halfway or semi-sheared, and it's stuck in the bore. And you'll run into that. So give me 1 second. Let's see if I can reposition this to get a better angle. All right, real loud noises coming up. We're got out the big guns. And that made short work of that. Holy cow. Let's see if we can get her out now. I might need a drift. Yeah, that's really stuck in there. Let me see if I can get a drift to help persuade it. This is not going easy. Drift. Yeah. Calibrated knock-ometer. Wonder twin powers activate. We're going to drive this out, hopefully. It's going. Woohoo! Would you look at that? Is that focusing? Oh yeah, she's got some offset to her by. Okay, I'm gonna get ready with the new pins. Stand by. Wait a minute. We are going to lubricate the auger shafts. Before we get moving on. Somebody will know what all this means. Some of you won't. So let's get ready to do this so we can do this. Right back with a grease gun. Alright, got my trusty grease gun with my quick release end. These are fantastic. I got two different kinds that I'm trying out, and this is the first one. This is called Lock and Lube, and I'm going to try another one as soon as I find them. We'll do a video on that. So I'm putting some grease in right now, and it's actually moving the shaft around. And then we spin it. Now these smaller machines only appear to have grease fittings on one end. Give her some more grease. Is cheap, relatively speaking. And there is no check ball in those grease fittings, so squirt back. Oh no, it's Zerk, grease nipple, whatever you want to call it. Squirt back is almost guaranteed. I'm kind of disappointed they didn't put grease fittings on both ends. That would have been nice. I know the bigger 30-inch machines have it, because I've done them. And we'll get this guy. And this is not the greatest time because everything is frozen. The grease is frozen. Actually, it's not too bad. This is good grease. I'm not having any trouble with it at all. So we'll work that in. it again. Judging how freely and how smoothly that spins, I think we're okay. Summertime or pre-season would be the best time to make sure this is all done properly, but unfortunately we're in a mid-season breakdown and we do what we got to do. So I'm going to wipe off the grease, put in the shear bolts, so stand by. I got to get some more supplies. You guys saw how wonderfully that chisel, that pneumatic chisel, drove that bolt out. I mean, I would have been whacking that with a hammer for a while, and it was already deforming. And the pneumatic chisels, they operate. It's kind of a different principle. It doesn't destroy stuff as badly as whacking it with a hammer does. And you know, your fear is bending the shaft, screwing up seals, that kind of stuff. So, and you won't. That's why I liked them. Sorry about the loud noises with the blower from the heater, but every time I shut it off, it gets cold in here quick. We're in a very, very cold climate. And heater noise is kind of expected, I guess you'd say. Where am I to? Stay where you're to. I'll come where you're at. So I got to get this line back up again. So I got to find the hole. And as Musty One would say, there's a joke in there somewhere. And where is it? You guys remember where we were? There we were. Okay, so that's the first hole lined up. It feels okay. So I wonder where the second hole is. I don't think they're the same. I think they're apart from each other. Interesting. Not that I feel it. Very interesting. Well, let's get this one done first because we know where it is. I'm going to leave that there like that. I'm going to show you guys. I bought these shear pins right here. I don't know if we're in focus or not because I'm sitting down. Hold on. I bought these shear pins on Amazon only because of the problem where I live is availability of parts. Sometimes it is terrible. If my dealer's out of stock, then I don't get any. I'll be telling you the truth. I've been waiting for belts for the particular blowers that I was working on before. In my other videos, you've seen those pro models I was working on. And I've been on back order for the belts for about 3 months now. And I have some belts, but I don't know if they're the right ones. So what I'm doing here is applying anti-seize. Now you might say, Jim, why are you applying anti-seize? The hole's full of grease. Well, because why not? You guys know I love the anti-seize. Oh, drop the nut. Nut gravity. She's gone. Okay. So I'm going to put this in the hole. And then we'll do the... I'm not going to show you the next one because it's the same thing. And then why bore you, right? Okay. And it's going to be stubborn. Just like everything else on this job. So let's get into position. I have no anti-seize left. It'll all be on my fingers. That's why we call it finger paint in the trades. Oh yeah, see, everything's so cold. I can't move the grease. And the hole's not lined up. I don't know if I can get it with this or not. I think I should be able to get her. Alright, let's do that. Oh, look at that. Look at that, eh? And we'll get that off of there. Smear that on there, because who cares? screw that baby on there. So I'm doing this job with basic hand tools because, you know, probably if you're out in the driveway and you suck up a rolled up flyer or newspaper, or like I did, a brick from the garden, you're going to have to do this with hand tools unless you want to go back to your shop and break out the power tools, which some of you guys don't even own power tools, and that's okay, because, you know, why would you? If you don't need them, why would you buy them? You know, you could spend your money elsewhere, and, you know, your wife would probably be a lot happier if you weren't buying tools. So my wife doesn't seem to care too much about my buying tools, so that's always that. Don't you hate that? Putting that nut down? Come on, baby. Look like Chihuahua trying to humble football here. Come on. There we go. These ratcheting wrenches, if you're going to buy basic hand tools, buy a set of regular wrenches and a set of ratcheting wrenches. You can get flex head or fixed head. You can get ones that you flip over or ones that you have a clicker on them. But they do help speed the process up. Now, there is a torque spec on these. It's like 10 foot-pounds. And again, I'm not going to get into that. But Ariens says to tighten it so that you don't feel it. But here's the problem. Or tighten it so there's drag. I'm getting drag now, but not much. So that's where that's going to stay. That's where that's going to live. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Very happy with that. Okay, so I'll do the other one off camera because we don't need to see that. And I believe that's everything on the front end. Maybe I'll adjust these shoes. I'll see what I can do with that. I'll see if I set the shot up for that or not. But anyway, yeah, that's what that is, times 2. And then we'll go move on to turning it around. We'll put it in the service position and we'll check the axles because Jake got to use this. I got to use this. And the areas that we got to use it are extremely salty. So we're going to do that. How's that look? Does that look all right? You can't tell sometimes with these phones because it'll show the video sideways. It looks all right. I don't know. No, I don't think it is. Is that any different? I think that's different. I think with the time, yeah. Anyway, let's try that. I got it in there. It just took a little bit to find the broken pin, but it's actually perfectly in line with the left side and the right side are in line with each other, so that's an indication. That's kind of handy. It was a good idea on Ariens' part to do that. So I'm going to nut this up and then we're going to flip. Okay, we're done. You can see one's opposite of the other. Why? Because it doesn't matter, and I did it anyway. So I'm going to turn this thing around, flip it up in the service position, and then we'll get right back to it. We're going to attempt to remove a wheel. It's very simple on these Ariens. It's just a little clip. There it is. That's what holds the wheel on. And this wheel is not at all seized. And this is what we like to see. So I'm going to slide the wheel off. Carefully set it on the ground. And then we're going to do what we have to do. This is our friend. Okay, this is Loctite LB771. This is known as Loctite Nickel Anti-Seize. This stuff. This is magical. Now this is the expensive stuff because it's high heat up, but it doesn't matter. It does the job the same. Oh, there's the key. So here, Kind of good that we did knock that out. This is the key that's got to go in to drive the wheels. She's not very big. Get this cleaned up for you. I don't think you need spares because you'd never share this. But it is a rectangular key. It's not square. So there's that. I'm going to set this off to the side while we lube the shaft with anti-seize. And you saw in my other video how important this is, because this is just a catastrophe if you do not do it. And you will regret it. Because if you ever have to service this bearing, good luck. See a grease fitting here. Well, we got that off. I think I'll give her a couple pumps just because. Now, I don't have the time to do a full service on this machine. The guy I bought it off of, again, it was from Marketplace, so you take everything with a grain of salt. He said it was fully serviced. And the problem being today, besides I put my grease gun down, I can't find it. The problem being today is we need it. And I need it to clear a path to my firewood. And I don't have much firewood in the house, so you can sense the need. There, I think that's enough. I see grease leaking out. That's a pump and a quarter. Good enough. Put the wheel back on, putting in our key. Can you see that? I don't have a cameraman. I'm doing this by myself. So please be patient with me. I'm doing the best that I can. So I wiggle that key in there to seat it in. Make sure there's lots of lubrosity on there. And then we're going to put it back on the wheel. We're going to line up the notch in the wheel or the keyway. And we'll wiggle that on. And that is what you call installed. So I'm not going to do everything twice. There's some guys on there who make their videos way over an hour just because they show you every little step. If it's the same thing on the other side, why do it twice? So to slip this on, a little bit of trickery. Whoa. There you go. Click. As soon as you hear the click, you know you're good. Okay, I'm going to do the other side off camera, and it'll be the same thing. I think I said I was going to do this side off camera, but I just wanted to show you. So if this was serviced before the season started, why is there... Just a minute, I'm going to see if I can turn this over for you so you can see it. It's dry all through here, and there's actually a little bit of rust. So it's not major rust, but it's a tiny bit there. So that proves to me that it was, if it was serviced incorrectly, if it was serviced at all. Again, Marketplace, buyer beware, caveat emptor, that's the Latin for it, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but this is what you get. And I'm going to be truthful with you guys. I paid $1,500 for this machine because they're over $3,000 new here. This particular machine had Deluxe plastic shoes on it and the weight kit. I didn't even know it had the weight kit when I bought it, but the weight kit here is $100 and those shoes are like $40, so there's some extras there. It's supposedly only 4 years old. The serial number matches. And but like I said, I am dubious of what people say because I've been burned too many times off of Marketplace. Sometimes you do get what you pay for, sometimes you don't. Let me get this done and I'll get back to you. So I wanted to show you the control cables. This one is very slack. More slack than I'd like. This one's not so bad. So let's adjust those right now. Stand by, I'll get some tools. 10 mil wrench, I think. And something like a pair of vice grips. Using an adjustable wrench here. And I've already loosened this off. So I'm just going to show you can do it with an adjustable. You don't need vice grips. And there's tight, and there's loose. And I'm going to back this off like that. I'm going to put those there so I know where they are. I'm not going to put them down somewhere crazy. Yeah. I'm going to back this way. Well, maybe I'm not. Uh-oh. We have a problem. Stand by. I'm going to need vice grips. It's seized. Okay. Unseized. Vice grips. Just lightly grabbing the threaded portion. Made a few marks, but I don't think we'll ever get the adjustment down that far. And if we back this all the way up, we get to see rust. The enemy of snowblowers. So I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to take this off. It feels grainy and crunchy. If you buy a brand new blower, something else you might want to think about putting anti-seize on. Some of you guys don't like the stuff. I'm here to tell you it's magical. So there we go. That's anti-seized up. We'll screw this back in. Big improvement right away. You can feel it. Screwing this down. And what you want to do is just take the slack out of this cable. And that's straight from the Ariens manual. Run this down some more. I like that. Slack is just out. Much better than it was. And we've serviced it. So we know that it will not ever, as long as I own it, seize up. I'll put some screws on that. I'm using the vice grips this time just because. And give that a little snug. And that's done. And this one, we're going to do it. I'm going to do the same thing over again. That's doable. We'll leave it at that. And I'm going to do this one just a tiny bit, but more so I'm going to do it so that I can make sure that this is lubed. So I'll do that off camera. Yeah, so that one was fine. There was no rust on it, but I did put some finger paint on it. Oh yeah, gotta love the anti-seize. And you know what? That's why it works, because it sticks to everything. And it makes a mess of everything. So there we are. There we are there now. Yes, okay. So all that's done. And I think we'll take it back out of the service position. I don't want to open the door, because if I open the door, I don't know. What do you think? Should I open the door? I'm going to open the door. I'm going to open the service panel right there. All right, let's have a peek inside. I hate it when you guys talk me into doing this stuff. You know? In limited time. And, yeah. Let's change position with that. There you go. That makes us more room. Old-fashioned ratchet. I got a power ratchet. I've just been tool foolish lately. I've been buying too much tools, but I bought a power ratchet because I wanted one. Could have did this when the wheels were off too. Here's a little trick for you. Do your undercover inspection while your tires are off. Makes life a lot easier. But anyway, I bought the ratchet. And the reason why I bought the power ratchet is because I watch a guy, another content provider, and I like what he does. And he's very, very, very smart mechanic. Ooh, two different sizes. I did not know that. That's a long bolt. And he does some amazing work. And he's able to, my head in the shot. So sad. And yeah, where was I going? Yeah, he does. He's got these tools. He's got a couple of battery powered ratchets. And they're just so much faster. And it makes his stuff faster. You know, like you don't spend as much time. I mean, you're watching me unscrew a bolt right now. That's probably a ridiculous thing to waste your time on, but some people like it. I don't know. It seems to work a lot for musty. Let's see. Do I have to take these right out? I can't remember. Of course I do. Okay, stand by. I'll get these out. Yeah, I brought you in close. I want you guys to see this. Friction disc looks fine, but the wheel's done. It needs a new wheel. Okay, so that'll be something that we'll be doing. I'll do a video on that. I'll order up a wheel. I'm going to use this machine right now because I have to, but I'm going to look at, here's the rubber dust from the wheel, but it does need a new wheel. It doesn't look like it's a bad one to change. Looks pretty, lots of room in there, not like that Brute that I did. Well, that thing was terrible. So we're definitely going to do a drive wheel change on that one. And the plot thickens. And like I said before, you never know what you're going to get on Marketplace. This machine may have actually been used commercially. I don't know. But, you know, for 4 years, that seems like an awful lot of wear on that drive wheel, friction wheel. Anyway, I'm going to button this back up. Yeah. Maybe I should hit her with the lube. I'm going to hit her with some lube while I'm in here. This lube can suffer to... Oh, yeah, we're going to get a mess going here. You got to turn both wheels at the same time or else the differential just spins. All right. Honey-goo. Available at Canadian Tire. I'm going to button this thing back up. Like I said, before we get into more trouble. I'll order up a friction wheel. Everything else seems to look okay. And we'll go from there. Got to put this thing back into service. Got this LED replacement light kit. And I got that Ariens product, obviously. I'll pop her open. It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't expensive. I suppose I could have just used a replacement bulb, but these are supposed to be a lot nicer. So there's the light there. That goes up into here. There's a couple of videos. So I'm not going to do a video on it. Or maybe I will. I don't know. Let me see. I'll get the tooling ready. So basically it's just pop-out light with 2 screws because the screws are different. And an adapter harness to plug it in. So, and an instruction sheet. I like stuff just because. That's the way I am. So there's the harness. And then the screws. So we're getting everything on this one, aren't we? And the dielectric grease is already in there. Which way is it? This way? Click. That's the installation click. Okay, now all the tools required, and we'll pull that out. Stand by. All right, so 5/16 socket. It goes easily up in there. No problem. If you do this job in the service position, there's no issue. I've seen this video of this light being installed a couple times before. That hurt. And there was always complaining about how you couldn't get at the bolts and blah, blah, blah. And I have no issue whatsoever getting at these bolts. So that's done. That's done. The tape that somebody used. And then what we have to do is pop the wire off here. Unclick. There's the light. The old one. I'll throw that over on the chair. And I'll shake out my 2 new screws. And I'll put my new light in position. And while we're at it, we can install click the there. Yellow to yellow, black to black, no problem. No issue whatsoever. Which way is that oriented now? Yeah. I'll make sure we got it the right way. I don't think it fit the wrong way anyway. And then we'll start the screw. And we'll start the other screw. And I'll take this. Oh, wait a minute now. Here's a change. So the new screws are 1/4 inch. So you're going to need a 5/16 and a 1/4 inch socket to do this job. Not a problem. We have both. You know, Ariens decided to change the size of the screw. And we'll click this into forward. This one too, keep it square. Oh, would you look at that? I don't know why everybody was complaining, but this was hard to do. There was even some comments on Amazon. I didn't buy this. I bought this from a local dealer. There, that's it. Okay, let me get a zip tie to clean this up. Stand by. So I got these nice, gorgeous black zip ties, just because. And we'll zip tie this up. And keep it out of the way. And roll the gears and whatnot. This is just so wonderful. Going right into place, no issues. Like I said, I have no idea why somebody would have thought this was a rough job to do. 2 zip ties. They could have gave you the 2 zip ties. That would have been nice. Ariens, give out some zip ties. That like that. Yeah. I'll cut those off in a second. And we'll call that job done. I'm going to put a zip tie down here. Should I do that? Well, I'm going to wait because we have to do a modification to the a modification to the wiring to put the heated hand grips on. I'm not going to do that today. There's the 2 screws from the old light. So let's get this back into the operating position, and we'll see how everything goes. I think we're done everything in the service position. Alrighty, let's see if this works. Need some choke. Okay, everybody, thanks. I guess that's it. I checked the plug off camera. The guy was right. It was a brand new plug. I'm going to take this thing outside now, give it a run. Thanks for watching. So that was good, right? So we did I guess you'd call it a mid-season service. We're not going to change oil because there's only 3 hours maybe on the oil. I'll see. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll run it, get it really hot, and change the oil. And but I greased everything. We anti-seized the axles. We changed out for the new LED headlight. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks again. This video is getting long. So remember, please like, subscribe, ring the bell, check back often. And happy trails. And hopefully you don't get too much snow. Or if you have a brand new Ariens and you like snow, hope you get lots. Take care soon. See you soon. And check back for more content often. Thank you.